Welcome back everybody, Kevin here with Overland Florida. I'm going to show you how to lose 200 pounds with this one easy trick. Good evening everybody. I'm out here in the Withlacoochee Forest tonight with Ryan. It is about 5:46 and I got off work this morning, slept a couple hours, took my front bumper off, I sold that, I sold my other rear bumper, and this one's actually going to be for sale too if anybody wants a swing away tire carrier for a Toyota Tacoma. I'll be selling that one. Other than that, it's a beautiful day. It's really quiet. Unfortunately, on the way here my truck was reading 93 to 95 degrees, so it's going to be a warm one tonight. So Ryan and I are about halfway to the campsite. We got about a mile and a half left. We're gonna search for some firewood on the way in. And judging by the tracks through the mud, I can't tell if anybody else has been out here yet or if anybody else is camping. I know it's hunting season, so it could have been hunters from last weekend. But regardless, Ron's on his way from Orlando with a refrigerator slap full of food. He's literally gonna cook for a small army tonight. There's gonna be about 7, maybe 8 of us tonight, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. So hopefully we get to the campsite with some firewood and there's nobody else around.
So for tonight's meal, we're making a beef roast. We have some bone broth in there, and we have some red wine. We'll go ahead and give it a quick flip. And we're gonna put the lid back on. We're cooking pie. All right. In true camping fashion, we're making our apple pie like we always do.
What is our fashion, Ron? Forgetting shit at home?
Yep, and also not utilizing camp chairs, because who camps with camp chairs? We don't need that. So today we're doing something a little bit different than we normally do with our apple pie. Right next to the pie crusts was the cinnamon rolls. So I got the bright idea of, we have our pie right here. We're gonna go ahead and take cinnamon rolls, lay it over top of the apples, then lay the pie crust over top of it. So now we laid out the cinnamon rolls on top of the apples. We're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the remaining pie crust and lay it across the top.
So what we're doing here is, instead of 350 degrees for 25 minutes, we're doing 5,000 degrees for about 2 minutes. And Ron is removing the Dutch oven from the fire.
So tonight for dinner, I know we haven't been doing a whole lot of filming, but we have a beef stew that we're making. It's got mushrooms. It has potatoes. The potatoes are absolutely perfectly done. Just look at those potatoes. We have beef, carrots, onions. We cooked it up with some red wine and some butcher's bone broth.
So we just finished dinner, and here's the finished product for Ron's masterpiece of a pie.
Get some more in there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, it's perfectly worth that.
So it's about 11:30 the next morning. Camping was pretty good. Unfortunately, it's still too hot to be camping in Florida. It was really warm last night. It didn't start cooling off until about 3 o'clock in the morning. Mosquitoes are really bad. But we did it. We had about 6 people show up. Dinner was delicious. Dessert was awesome, how it turned out with the cinnamon buns on top. We didn't film too much of the cooking. I think what we're going to do is Ron's going to have his own videos for cooking. He's going to show you guys in detail how to cook over open flame and in the Dutch oven in Florida. So we'll still have cooking videos and our camping videos, but we just won't be in much detail when we do the camping videos. So look forward to Ron's series. I don't know what we're going to call his videos yet. If you guys have any ideas, just drop a comment below. So Ron and I are out exploring today, and this is what we came across. So Ron and I spend about 3 hours combined per camping trip on the internet. Just on Google Maps, Google Earth, YouTube. We're just researching new places to go, unique things out in the forest. And I came across a Google image that was tagged out in the green swamp where we frequent, and I've never seen it before. And I thought, well, maybe it's, you know, someone tagged it in the wrong location. I thought the location, when I first looked at the picture, should have been tagged in the Peace River, because it was a bunch of white sandy banks on the river, and you don't really see that in the Withlacoochee forest. So I did some more research, and I think I found the location of it, and we are on our way. But this trail gets tighter and tighter, and I have this trailer behind me, so I don't want to get too deep and not be able to turn around. So we made it to the first spot at the Withlacoochee River. It is so peaceful and it's flowing really well. We went just about as far as we could with the trucks because all these roads and trails turn into deep mud pits. So we're gonna have to find an alternate route. So far we found one of the 2 things we came out here for. The chimney was actually a bonus. I saw a picture of that, but I had no idea where it was, and we just happened to stumble across it, which was really cool. Now I just gotta make sure I don't get stuck out here, because some of these mud holes are pretty deep. And not only do we not have a winch, I don't even have a front bumper on my truck right now, so we gotta try to avoid all these deep mud holes. I believe we've arrived at our location, so let's see where Google Images took us. You can tell it's definitely the hangout spot for this area. There's a platform, we'll walk over there. There's a platform and a rope swing. So there's the dive platform out there. We are on our way to the last spot we're checking out, which is a river crossing, potentially. Everything that I've researched and saw on Google Maps, it's a part of the Withlacoochee River where people can cross it, which is not very common. So we're gonna go to the end of this trail right here, which should dead end at the river. And I think the water's probably too high, but I think probably during the winter, if we don't have a wet winter, it might be shallow enough for everybody to cross the river there. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to check out the river crossing because some people ruined it for us. There's road closed to vehicle signs all through here, so. People are always asking about campsites and camp spots and things to find out in the forests. But basically what I tell them is you kind of just have to do your own research. You'd be surprised how much stuff is available on Google Maps and Google Earth. You just have to go to your part of the state and just start looking around. I find most of my stuff probably on Google Images, and then I'll go to Google Maps and find like the geotag, and that's pretty much what we're doing today. Like today's video might seem kind of boring, but it had a purpose. We've never been out here before. This is kind of like new territory, and we've already found 3 things that we didn't know existed before this trip, so that's pretty much what we do. I just want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and everybody that's been watching. We have a few fun trips planned up ahead. We have 2 separate Florida Everglades trips. Unfortunately, it's still too hot, so I have to wait for it to cool down, have a cold front come for those. In 2 weeks, we have Crawling for the Fallen, which is a charity event. That's up in Stark. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Other than that, if anybody has any recommendations or anything, leave a comment.